All right, Todd Falcone, welcome to a video tutorial with me and my little yellow pad whiteboardish thing behind me. So today's lesson is a very important lesson, as pretty much all of my lessons are, unless I'm goofing off with Buzzy Boxer, but that's always just for fun, and there's always a lesson there too. But this lesson I want you to pay very, very close attention to. It's how do you build explosive volume in your organization? How do you go about increasing the amount of activity? Is it possible for you to literally light up an organization and increase dramatically the amount of volume that you have in your organization? So forgive my artwork, but bear with me here for a moment. I don't know where, with the camera center, but okay, so the title of today is how do you create massive volume in an organization in network marketing? So let's look at a real life example. You know, this isn't exactly how the organization was structured, but this is pretty accurate based on a particular month that I had many years ago, and when I first learned how to utilize this concept of blowing up an organization's volume in a matter of just a few days. So at day 25 in the month, in other words, it was right around the 25th of the month, I had only 20 reps in the organization, and the total amount of volume, and we were a fairly high-priced product at the time, so it was, you know, it might be a little bit higher than, you know, a $100 nutritional supplement. We were selling water and air filtration systems at the time, but I had 20 reps and $9,800 in volume for the month. By day 30, I had 67 reps and $37,000 in total volume for that month. So in 5 days, I was able to take the volume from $9,800 to roughly $37,000, which is a pretty dramatic increase in volume. I mean, it took me 25 days to get to $9,800, and then to get to $37,000, it only took me 5 days. So how do you want to know how to do that? Okay, I thought so. All right, so let me give you an example, and you're going to love my artwork. So this is the concept of creating massive volume in an organization. Obviously, this is a log, and this is a lighter. And it is virtually impossible, if not physically impossible, to light a log on fire with a lighter or a match. It's just, you know, the mass of it is just too thick, too large for you to actually be able to, I mean, you can sit there for hours and hours and hours, and with the heat of a lighter or the heat of a match, you would never be able to light the log on fire. However, if we go back to physics, I didn't do so well in physics class, but that's okay. Basic physics says this, and I don't even know if it's physics, but it doesn't matter. But this is how a fire is made, and this is exactly the same concept on how you light your organization on fire. So this is a newspaper. I don't know if you can see it on the video or not, whatever. Now you can. That's a newspaper, okay? So there's a newspaper, and what we're going to do is we're going to crumble up a bunch of newspaper here, and we're going to create this light mass. So it's like all these little pieces of paper that's all crumbled up here. And then we have little sticks here, little teeny tiny sticks, little pieces of kindling. And as we go up, the kindling gets a little bit larger and a little bit more mass and a little bit larger until the sticks up here are even larger. And if we take the lighter or the match and we light this mass, this very easy to light, fluffy little mass of newspapers, which will catch fire quickly, it will combust, it will add additional heat, which will then catch these other little pieces that are just a little bit bigger here, which will then increase the heat even more, which will then allow these bigger pieces to light, which will create a greater mass of fire, and eventually the log will catch itself on fire. Right? You guys follow me. Pretty simple stuff. Now, I don't know if I understand physics or not, but I know that's how a fire is made. And that's exactly how an organization's volume is lit on fire as well. So pay really, really close attention to the message. Okay? This is how it works. So, for example, in fact, maybe I'll just take another piece of paper, and I'll do this. So I'm going to draw some circles. Okay? So let's just imagine that you have, you know, 4 personally sponsored people. This person's got 3. This person's got a couple. This person's got 1 or 2. This person's kind of going crazy. And they've got some circles. They've got some people. They've got a nice little group. And so on. So this is, and this will work in pretty much any compensation plan. If you're in a unilevel, if you're in a matrix, if you're in a binary, if you're in a breakaway, I know you can't read my writing, but that's okay. If you're in any of these types of compensation plans, this philosophy will work extremely well. So what you do is you do this. You spend the first 3 weeks of the month, totally focused on recruiting and sponsoring. Totally focused exclusively on recruiting and sponsoring, recruiting and sponsoring, recruiting and sponsoring, recruiting and sponsoring, bringing new people to the table. That's what you're spending your entire month on. Right when you get to the tail end of the month, because thank goodness for technology, and even when we didn't have technology, we still had pieces of paper we could look at. You can look at your genealogy report, and you pull out your report, and you look at your organization for the month, and you just kind of, and it's good because most of them allow you to pull it out in a tree view so you can actually see structurally what your organization looks like and how much volume each person might have, for example, next to each circle, and it might tell you what, how much volume each person has, and, and so on. This person has $200 in personal volume or whatever. And with pretty much any compensation plan in network marketing, as you increase the amount of volume in an organization, you are able to rise in rank. So if you sponsor more people, if you have a combination of, let's say, 20 personally sponsored people and $5,000 in total personal volume, you might go from the position of executive to senior executive, I don't know, whatever, or ruby to emerald or whatever it is. And the benefit of rising in rank in any network marketing company is the more you rise in rank, obviously the more likely, the more earnings that you'll have, the greater income that you'll have. So we all want to rise in rank and rise through the pin levels in a compensation plan. And I mean, that's our overall objective, is to build a business, grow in rank, grow in size, grow in organizational volume. And what I'm going to show you here is, so this is let's say this is you, and this is your group. What you want to do the last 5 to 7 days of the month is look at the organization, and then you want to be looking at what's happening, and you have to know the basics of your compensation plan. Let's say, for example, in this compensation plan, it takes $500 in bonus volume, let's say, if that's the term that we're going to use, to hit the rank of I don't know, just let's say the rank of director as an example, okay? So if somebody hits $500 in volume, they're going to hit director, and during the next month, if they're a director, they're going to get, I don't know, maybe they get 5% more money. I don't know. Let's just say, this is just a hypothetical example, okay? So what we want to do is we want to look at the numbers that these people have, and it's much like lighting a fire. So what you're going to do, instead of, this is the log, you're not going to go try to light this log on fire, and this is definitely a log as well. You want to start from the bottom of the organization and work your way upward so that you can create the kindling and you can create the fire that starts from the bottom of your organization and ends up lighting up the rest of the organization, where everybody up here is incredibly motivated to do stuff because of the fear of loss that exists if they don't take action. So that's the whole thing here, is the fear of loss. And I got somebody calling me. That's my assistant. She can wait. And okay, so what I would do here is I go to this person. All right. So this person right here has nobody in their downline. They've got nobody. But I don't mind. Maybe he or she is brand new, and they came in, and let's say they've got $100 in volume. So all they have to do is another $400 to get to that director position, which would get them a 5% pay raise for the next month, starting out the next month. So I would go here to Sandy and say, hey, Sandy, Todd Falcone, I noticed that you're brand new in the organization. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but if you are able to get to $500 in total volume for the month, you'll go into next month being a director, which puts you in a position of actually making more money. Are you in the position where you want to take any kind of action to ensure that you're in that position for next month? Oh, I'm not really ready yet. I'm not sure. I just got started. Okay, no problem. So I'll go maybe to this person. I'll ask the same question to Bill. And I'll say, Bill, I know you've been in for a few weeks. You're just getting going. I know we met at our recent conference. I noticed that you've got $100 in personal volume. You're getting some product sales through your group. You know that if you do $400 more between now and the end of the month, that you'll actually qualify to hit the director status in our company. He's like, really? He's like, well, I've been selling out all my product. I was getting ready to place a $200 product order anyhow. So you mean if I do $400 in product sale, $400 more dollars in product, you mean I'll qualify director? Yes, you will. And he'll say, oh, and this is, again, this hypothetical example. He says, oh, well, of course, I will absolutely do that. So he goes in, he comes in and he does an extra $400 in personal volume. If that's, again, hypothetical example in this particular compensation plan. Now this guy just qualified director, okay, just with that little move. So you just increase the volume in the organization by making a phone call by 400. Now I'm going to go up here to Tom, and Tom's got 100, 200, 300, plus now the other 400, so he's got a 7. And let's say it's $1,000 to get to SD, senior director. I don't know. Let's use that as an example. He's got $700 now. He's $300 shy. And if he does senior director, let's say he makes, I don't know, let's say 10% more. I don't know. Again, hypothetical. You just got to get the point here. Okay? So I go to Tom and I say, Tom, look, you've got $700 in volume in your group right now. If you just do another 300, you know, you're going to be qualified as senior director. And the fear of loss many times will move people into action. And this guy goes, oh my gosh, I don't want to lose it. So he's going to come in and he's going to do another 300. So now you just popped another $300 in volume in the organization. We're just starting at the bottom here. We haven't even gone up to, you know, Sally and Bill and Ron. And Ron here, by the time we get up to Ron, you know, we might be looking here, and Ron's, you know, got $13,000 out of, you know, and he needs $15,000 to hit the diamond position in the company. I don't know. Again, hypothetical compensation plan here. But the key factor is going from the bottom of the organization and communicating to these people personally the last few days before the month ends, because in almost every network marketing company at month ends, day one starts all over at 0 again. So the qualifications typically happen during that 30-day time frame. So you've got day 1 to the end of the month to meet whatever qualifications you're looking to meet in your compensation plan. And it just, I want you to conceptually get this so you understand how effective this is. And I mean, then you go to another leg, and this one's, let's say this is, you know, this guy's got 50, 100, 50, so that's 200, and this is 200, so there's a total amount of $400 in volume. You ask the same question to these 3 people, and none of them take any action. They just started. But, you know, Bill here is like, wait a minute, I only have $100 more to go. Okay, cool, I'm going to do $100. You know, because they don't want to lose out on the potential extra earnings that they'd have next month if they get themselves positioned. So the key thing for everyone is everyone wants to make more money. And you really owe it to your distributors to let them know. This is actually doing them a service rather than a disservice. You not communicating to these people is doing them a disservice. Because quite frankly, if I was at $13,000 in volume and I busted it to get to the $13,000 in volume, and for some reason I was uninformed and I didn't realize that I was that close and that all I had to do was another $2,000 in total volume in my group to hit this level that would give me a car bonus or something else, and I didn't know that, but because you didn't tell me, and then I found out later, and then I started the next month again at 0, I'd be mad. But if you picked up the phone and you called me and say, dude, look, you're $2,000 away from, you got, you know, 17 people in your group, you're $2,000 away from getting the car bonus. And if you do it between now and the end of the month, you'll end up, you know, they'll pay for your car next month. I mean, again, hypothetical example for a compensation plan. The guy's going, wait a second. He will probably start dialing through his group saying, Bob, Sally, look, I'm almost qualified for the car bonus. Do you need to order any more product? Is there anybody else I can help you close? And all of a sudden, you take an organization. I think my record, I don't know the exact figure, but at one point we were at like, I don't know what was the figure. I don't know, maybe $25,000 for the month in volume, and in 5 days we turned it to like 97,000. From 25 to 97,000 in volume. So remember, the key here is you spend the first 3 weeks of the month recruiting, sponsoring, selling, and you look at the organization the last 5 to 7 days, and you start building from the bottom up, and you start lighting the organization on fire. What do you think is going to happen when you get to the person up here, or you get to this person? This person just went, oh my goodness, you know, 4 days ago my group was, you know, $3,000 in volume. Today it's $17,000 in volume. What in the world happened? I only got to do another $3,000 and I'm going to be at that position. That is how you light an organization on fire, and you build it from the bottom up. Remember, you can't light a log on fire, but you can when you got the kindling and you know, blow some stuff on it, light it, it works. So, cool stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video. Todd Falcone. We'll see you on another blog post.